Okay, Anthony, so you come to join us this morning for a video analysis session. And before we take a look at your video analysis above and below the water, apart from the obvious, what brought you to my door?
What was this doing?
You can be honest. I mean, we don't have to pretend that you've only known me today.
Obviously doing open water stroke up at Honington last year, and yeah, basically I think I just kind of plateaued in terms of swimming. So I was basically seeing people who were swimming, and they weren't fitter than me, they weren't stronger than me, but they were going sort of over a sort of a 3.8k swim. They were sort of 5 minutes, 6 minutes quicker than me, and I was like, where am I going? Where am I going wrong? And I just want to get that efficient. So I've got two goals. One is to go sub 1 hour on the 3.8, and then also obviously just to get faster over that distance. Not necessarily the shorter distance, but certainly the longer distance.
I certainly think from when I saw you in the lake the first couple of times, obviously you've got the issue with the wetsuit does make us a little bit quicker. I felt that when I first started seeing you were quicker in the lake than what I'm seeing you right now. So there's been a bit of a drop off in your times. But saying that, I never did take your times in the lake, so it might just be a perception thing. What are you doing? A 3.8? Sorry, a full iron.
Yeah, in July.
Heaver? Really? Make sure you take plenty of probiotics for that one. I have told you, haven't I? Yeah, but always first time. Okay, so if I was to ask you what you think is the one thing holding you back right now, anything to do with your stroke, what would you tell me?
I've not focused on the back end of the stroke, so I think I might be coming out short on there. What else? I think getting the fluency as well. So by that, the rhythm. Yeah. I think if it's a longer pool or longer on the open water, it seems to me that it takes sort of 10, 15 strokes or 10, 15 meters to actually get myself set.
I think that's pretty standard for everybody. I mean, no matter what level you're at, even your smooth pool swimmers, it's exactly why we have a warm up. Yeah. To get you back in, I know you're going, and you're going cold. But we do exactly the same thing in the open water. You'll do just a couple of breathing exercises or just a couple of meters to center yourself. Get your head out of I'm on my phone or I've got work and now I'm in a lake. Exactly, it's normal for everyone. So I wouldn't concern yourself over that. Okay, so we've spoken about the Swim Smooth types. So we don't really need to go over that again. But just to quickly go over Bambinos, we know you're not a Bambino. We know you're a little bit Arnie, but only in so far as you're very driven and you know what you want, you know how you want to go get it. There's a little bit Arnie, but I think...
Well, I think I'm moving away from Arnie, because I think if you'd asked me the same question last year, I think I would have definitely gone, look, I'm powering through this.
Yeah.
And I think now, you may say that, so you said beforehand that I've reduced, my speed may have come down. Personally, I don't think that's true. I think it's probably gone up a bit.
Yeah.
But actually, it's more about efficiency. So if I haven't dropped off, then I think the swimming has become more efficient. So I'm coming out of the water less tired.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I think that's a combination between obviously the stroke, but also fitness. Because this year, over the winter, I'm swimming 2-3 times a week at least, whereas last year I was swimming once a week.
Yeah.
So in terms of aerobic fitness, I'm getting fitter. So then the stroke, the form of my stroke is maintained for longer, and I'm less inclined to sort of fall back into that hard stroke.
Okay, well, when I say that I think there's been a bit of a drop off, it's very difficult for me to be absolutely sure on that because I've never taken your times in the open water. And everybody swims quicker generally in a wetsuit and in open water. You've got no distractions really, you've got no push and glides. So generally most people do swim a little bit. So, you know, would be hard for me to positively say there has absolutely been a drop off. All very fair comments. So I think, and we'll have a look on the video, I think, and now you're breaking through that. It's whether you're sitting in slight overglider, smooth, or swing. We need to take a look at those things. So first angle we're going to have a look at you at is over the water side on, but I'm actually going to skip. I want to skip straight to under the water front on, because this is where the magic happens. Let's slow you down. So taking your stroke on top, you're sitting at around 62, 63 strokes per minute, and I would definitely like to see that come up. All right. So what do you notice there?
Straight arm.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
Straight arm, and I'm coming slightly across in front of my face.
It looks, well, yeah, that'll be interesting when we take a look over the top of the water to see if you're crossing the centre line. Have you had swim lessons before? Coaching?
Only when I was a kid.
Do you remember the old S pull? Yes, absolutely. So yeah, the thumb comes in and then you push out in and back round again. So 20, 30 years ago, and it's still quite recent, we used to believe that the forces working against a swimmer were up forces and drag forces. So we used to make this skull shape to help lift you through the water and then propel forwards. Now we know that the majority of the forces working against a swimmer are the drag forces directly at the front end. There is still some lift, but not as much as we thought. So we now get rid of all of this big S pull. It's a bit of a waste of time. But also the amount of pressure you're putting through your shoulder, thumb first and then pressing out, causes impingement issues into the shoulder. Someone like me who's been doing it for years has a lot of issues in their shoulder now. So that's the first thing we want to tackle. We'll now want to come in with the fingertips first and press the water straight back down towards our hips. And in order to do that, we do need a slightly higher arm. So just to show you the sort of angle that we'd want, I'm going to pull you up against double Olympic gold medalist Rebecca Adlington.
That's fine.
I know, isn't it? Swim Smooth filmed her a little while ago.
Can she run that? That's the question.
Bet she can. Because what Rebecca shows us is the perfect angle under the water of where the arm needs to be for an efficient pull through. Let's bring you side by side. Okay, and pause. Come on, Anthony, catch up with the Rebecca Adlington. There. So we can see straight away, I mean, her angle there should be anywhere between about 120 and 140 degrees with the fingertips pointing straight down to the bottom of the pool. So she would have had a catch on top of the water, the hand's been turned into a paddle and it's pressing the water directly back. You have definitely got a crossover, whether it's at the top of the water at entrance or if it's just pulling underneath. I mean, that's what, about 175 degrees? So that's the first thing we can see is that we're going to need to work on bringing that elbow up, developing your catch and developing your pull through. Really easy, simple to fix. So we're going to go through a catch mechanics masterclass. So that will start with sculling, long dog, and then into pull and swim. I know you know how to do long dog, but just to show you, I mean, I'll come back to Rebecca Adlington. And I'll just really quickly show you how Paul is demonstrating his doggy paddle. Really rubbish at this. That button. And he makes it look really easy. So he's looking straight ahead. Fingertip is in line with the shoulder, and I call it the reach and roll. So you're going to extend your arm out, you're going to pull back, and then you're going to roll to the other side. Now, the good thing about doggy paddle, or long dog, it's very hard to do it wrong. When you stretch out in front of you, quite naturally, you feel like you want to press here and press the water back behind you. What you wouldn't do is drop your arm completely straight. That wouldn't feel right to you. So this is one of the great exercises that we do to help develop that front end of the stroke. There's visualizations we can use, like imagining you're pulling a rope underneath your body. Ever done Tough Mudder? Oh, you should do. I reckon you could be quite good at it. But you'd pull a rope underneath your body, like commando style. Swimming down a thin corridor, always a good one. So you've got the rotation through the shoulders and through the horizontal plane. That's right, isn't it? Horizontal plane. Reaching out in front and pressing back. Nice and easy. How are you at your sculling?
Yeah.
Are you propelling?
I can go forward. Yeah,
That's fine.
Yeah, I can go forward when I start.
So the other one that develops your catch and your pull-through strength is your sculling. And skull number 1. Da-da.
I think I've only, to be honest, because I've had a look at these drills, and I think the sculling that I've done is arms out forward. I've not done so that one.
That's skull number 1.
Yeah, so this got the second one with the bench.
So that's more into your skull number 2, going into the second phase of your pull.
Yeah.
So this obviously develops the catch at the front end of the stroke. So important that you have the shoulder higher than the elbows and the elbows higher than the wrist and fingertips. If they were to be level, which I do think he does at some point. Yeah. Have you seen this video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Let's move on and take a look at what else is going on. So we know that there's a little bit of a straight arm pull there. And because of the straight arm pull, there's a lot of bubbles here. So that would then indicate to me that the catch isn't quite tight enough at the moment. If there was a very decent catch, we wouldn't really see these bubbles. The bubbles are you beginning to slip the water. Sorry, I was watching something else. I'm looking at your breathing and your bubbles. Now, classic of pull sprinters, so you're blowing out bubbles quite nice. It's a little bit staccato. Your hand got in the way there. No bubbles. So the first thing we're going to do is some sink downs. It's one of those really crazy things that you say to people, we're going to work on some bubbles, and they look at you like you're mental.
Yeah.
And they say, I know how to blow bubbles.
Yeah,
but it's just a refocusing, because we've learned how to blow bubbles as kids, but no one ever seems to come back to it again. And it plays around with your buoyancy. So I'm going to take a guess with the angle that you are right now, that you are sitting quite low in the water.
I think it's one of these things that I think, as I say, it's getting myself set. And once I've gone through that checklist of right, hands, shoulders, breathing is almost at the end of that checklist. Mm-hmm. So once I get sort of halfway down the length, mm-hmm. then I think, yeah, okay, I've got to start breathing out.
Yeah.
Because I am going through that checklist. So
you've got a really nice kick there. It's a little bit wide, but you've broken through it really well. I mean, you're a runner, so we wouldn't generally see such a good kick from runners. They have tight ankles, tight calves, but you have broken through it quite nicely. If you were pure Arnie, the legs would be split apart. We'd see a big scissor kick. I think you're a bit of a hybrid Arnie, and I would have started life as Arnie too. So I've gone from Arnie into swinger. This was whether you go from Arnie into smooth or Arnie into swinger. Looking at that, what for a smooth? Your rhythm on the underwater shot there was definitely inclining more towards a swinger. You had a 4-beat kick. So this is you side on over the water. I'm just going to have a quick look at your recovery. Yeah, so you're swinging around the side. So you're heading more into being a swinger, which is what we said on Sunday. Anyway, don't want to lose my position. I've got a bit of a habit of going stop-start, backwards and forwards. So here again, we can just see the straight arm pull and just where your body position. You've actually got quite a nice body position. So I take back what I said earlier. Hips are sitting just in line with the water, a little bit under, ideal. So the single thing holding you back right now is the straight arm pull and the catch. And did you notice here your timing of the stroke? One arm forwards, one arm back. Windmill.
Yeah, but the front hand is coming in. The back hand is just leaving as the front hand comes in, isn't it?
It's a little bit. So if you think about where your propulsion is here, propulsion,
Yeah.
propulsion, propulsion, that hand's just about to enter the water, and there's a dead spot just here where there's no propulsion on. Too far. It's just there. You'd want it a little bit closer together. So here you've got your propulsion and it's ending around your hip.
Yeah.
And then it should be back on again here.
And I think with the increase in tempo, so if it increases the cadence, that gets nullified. So that actually, well,
not necessarily. I mean, some people when they pick up the speed, they just swing their arms over the water much quicker. So we need to just things like vitamin drill. So the vitamin drill is just making sure we have one arm out in front at all times, and bubble stretch. And just using a tempo trainer, as simple as using a tempo trainer to make sure that you've got an even flow through the stroke and fix that straight away. All right, the last thing I want to look at is you above the water, because we were looking for, ooh. Well, you've spotted it, and you said you might have something. Everyone always looks awful from this angle, by the way, as well. So here you are. That's class. That little angle there is quite common of a smooth. So someone that's had a lot of pool coaching, they tend to come in and do this little flick. It's not really a huge issue. I wouldn't really waste my time or your time trying to fix it.
But if the elbow comes is bent more, then that will actually fix that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. So you should have been entering the water parallel with the shoulder and then extending forwards. So it's just a case of getting a little bit tighter. You would be entering the water exactly in that position, and from there, extending in this line forwards. So kicking on your side, 616, 636 into swim. Boom, we'll attack that today as well. So yeah, I think you've definitely come from an Arnie. There's your rotary style right there. But you're now heading more into an elite stroke. Everyone does. Everyone has to start somewhere, and you've definitely broken through that starter. Bonus, I can only see one goggle. There are definitely really good elements to your stroke, Anthony. I hope you're not sitting here feeling disappointed.
No, not at all, not at all. I think it's the first time I've seen myself swim, so it's...
There's your swing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got the makings of a really nice, beautiful stroke. And with these different alterations that we're going to make, I think your speed's going to pick up and you're going to have a bit of an enlightening moment moving forwards. You're leading the squad, much to Graham's annoyance. I reckon Graham's getting really competitive.
I'm not leading it. I'm swimming faster than everybody, maybe, but I'm not leading it. See, look, my legs are doing something funny there.
So that would be the beginning of a split kick. You've got good core muscles. So I think you've started countering that split there. So where you're breathing to the side and the hand then comes underneath you in the crossover, to stop yourself over-rotating, you draw open the legs and split back together. If we've had a few too many drinks, we're a bit tipsy, and you begin to fall that way, the leg goes out that way to balance yourself. It's the same if you go that way, the leg goes out that way. So that's exactly what's happening there. You're over-rotating with the hand underneath the body, and the foot comes back to help you come back into that centre line again. Yeah, it's because it's we saw that underneath the water, one of your arms, it must be this one, was sweeping underneath, under the centre line.
Yeah.
And that over-rotates you and imbalances you. So you're using your legs to split kick and bring you back down into the middle again, to bring you back into that central position here. Again, pure Arnie. Let me see. just to show you. I mean, you've seen them anyway, haven't you? The Pure Arnis on Swim Smooth. But the difference is, I swim type. That's not what I want. Joe Peter. I wonder if it's Peter. Let's have a quick look at this chat. Oh, here we go. Perfect shot as well. He's not doing it though, so that's really unhelpful. A little bit more homework required on my swim types. I'll go to one of my swimmers. Who's got a split kick? Sophie. Emma Macaulay. Oh, definitely the technology's the one bit keeping me back. Cancel. No. It's going chaos. Right, here we go. No. Right, we're back on track. Let's get Emma above the water. You can already see her beginning to do it there, yeah. So she crosses underneath here. You can see that the hands come underneath her body. Yeah. And then the legs split apart to help balance her. There. Snap. Snap. And then she comes back into the middle again. That is a scissor kick. So she's using her legs as her counterbalance. You've begun to break through that. There is ever such a slight... I mean, again, we can do things like ballet leg kick to bring the legs back central again. But I think if we attacked the front end of your stroke and the single arm pull and making sure this comes in straight, that will correct this. So classic coaching was that a coach would look at this and think, all right, he's got a bit of a split kick, make him go up and down with a float and kick his legs. But as soon as you start swimming again, and these issues haven't been tackled, that will always keep going back to the way it is. So rather than waste our time here, focus our time here. The single thing holding you back right now is that single arm pull and the crossover. So let's deal with that first. Let's get in the water. Yeah. Have you got any questions? Is there anything else you'd like to see?
It's just the technical way of obviously if your arm's coming round on a swim smooth, it's not on a smooth swim. Your hand comes up where it comes over the top and then goes in straight.
Yeah.
On a swinger, your arm is coming round. So in order to correct that, your arm has got to come round, then go forward. Yeah. In which case, then you're going to need that.
It's rotation, absolutely. So you use your core muscles. Imagine you've got an elastic band under your rib cage and down to your pelvis. You're going to keep that tight. Rotate through the horizontal axis, and the hand swings up and over, enters here, and as you roll to the other side, it stretches out. Yeah. If you'd like to take a look at a swinger, I know where to find a swinger. You can have a quick look. Delete swimmers. So Sally is part of Swim Smooth up in Perth. She's lovely. She is pure swinger, so she was a real elite swimmer. So her swinging round the side, she enters in line with the shoulder and then pulls back round. She's super quick. So it still can be done.
Yeah.
She goes again. So entering the water just in front of the head, stretching out, rotating, and pulling the water back. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So even though you're swinging rather than bringing the hand underneath, you can still enter there. And that will be fixed from the 6, kicking on your side, 6-1-6, 6-3-6. You're looking confused.
No, I'm just looking at it, just watching it.
Do you want me to send this to you?
I've seen it on the site.
Right then, on that note, I'd like to pop yourself back in the water.
Yeah. Can we do a couple of minutes of actually just going
Hell for
all
leather.
out?
Let's get to that at the end.
Yeah,
So
no,
let's tackle what we need to.
Yeah.